this is just a wonderful event. And the more I go out, the more that I realize, you know, there is something going on, right? I mean, this is a movement, you know. This is something bigger than Barack Obama or Michelle Obama or anyone else in this room. And don't you just feel it? I mean, it's amazing. So I'm honored to be here. Over the last few months, I've had an opportunity to take a few trips around the country. You may have read. And some of them I've gone with Barack. Most recently, I've been doing trips on my own. We try to take the girls when we can. And the one thing that people are really most curious about me is they really want to know, particularly the women, how are you doing? I mean, there's that sort of, how are you doing? And I'm like, I know. You know, they really want to know, how am I balancing this stuff, right? Balancing being a mother, a professional, a campaigner, a wife, a woman, right? And they want to know, how have things changed for us over the course of this journey? What I tell them is that essentially, you know, like many women, I'm doing a whole lot of juggling, right? Juggling, we all do it. I've found that this period has been both challenging and thrilling for me at the same time. I've had to reduce my hours at work. It's okay. I love my job, but I have to pick one. So that's given me some more time. And with Barack away even more, my focus has been trying to keep my kids sane through this. That is first and foremost for us, making sure that Malia and Sasha sort of stay in their routine as much as possible for as long as possible. So Barack and I measure how we're doing by saying, how are the girls, right? And they are just fine. They are going to ballet and gymnastics, and they care about the next play date, the next pizza party, you know, and then there's their school. I have to worry about, you know, just making sure that we're on point academically, that we go to all the parent-teacher conferences, and Barack still goes to those. It's quite a scheduling feat, but we make it happen. Presentations, school plays, you all know the drill. And I would not be able to do it without this particular table right here. These are the women in my life, my mother, Mama Kay, the girls' godmothers, girlfriends of mine who helped me shuttle and keep me held up. And I want my mom and Mama Kay to stand, because you got to stand up. As you'll find, they're also a little mischievous too. And at the same time, I'm still trying to find time for myself, you know, getting the hair done. Come on, let's not pretend like we don't know that getting the hair and nail done is important. Getting a workout in, ladies. One of the things I always talk about is gotta exercise, and I'm still trying to do that. And to top it off, I have the pleasure of doing it all in front of the watchful eyes of our friends in the back. What's up, people? But other than that, things haven't changed much. But seriously, though, with the exception of the campaign trail and life in the public eye, I have to say that my life now is really not that much different from many of yours, right? I wake up every morning wondering how on the earth I'm going to pull off that next minor miracle to get through the day. And I know that everybody in this room is going through this, but this is the dilemma that women face today. Every woman that I know, regardless of race, education, income, background, political affiliation, is struggling to keep her head above water. We've tried to convince ourselves somehow that doing it all is somehow a badge of honor, and for many of us it is a necessity, and we have to be very careful not to lose ourselves in the process. More often than not, we as women are the primary caretakers in our households, scheduling babysitters, planning play dates, keeping up with regular doctor's appointments. This was my week last week. supervising homework, handing out discipline, and usually we're the ones that are in charge of keeping the household together. And I know men, I know you guys try to do your part, but the reality is that we're doing it, right? Laundry, cleaning, cooking, shopping, home repairs. You know, Barack has my back, but it's right there with me. Feels my pain, all of that. And for those of us who work outside of the home as well, we have the additional challenge of coordinating these things with our job responsibilities. How many of us have had to be the ones when a child gets sick, who's the one that stays home? A toilet overflows. This was a couple of months ago. I was scrambling around to reschedule a 9 o'clock meeting to be there. Barack loved him to death, put on his clothes, and he left. And to top it off, we have the added social pressure of looking good, staying slim, don't add pounds, you gotta look good, the wardrobe has to be together, and we have to be in good spirits, right? Ready to be supportive of our significant others. I'm just tired just thinking about it. But again, these are not challenges that are unique to me, and I say this all the time, and people think I'm being modest, but the truth is that my experiences tells me that we as women are facing what I call the next level of challenges, balancing work, family, ourselves differently than ever before. My mother says this all the time. She's like, I don't know how you do it. And she means it. We have made great strides with regard to equality at all levels of society. And because of the struggles that so many have fought, many of the women in this room, I know that my daughters can dream big. They really can. There is no ceiling. They can envision themselves any way they want. Surgeons, Supreme Court justices, race car drivers, basketball stars. They have images that I never had growing up. But I wonder, what is the unspoken cost that having it all takes on us? If we're scurrying to and from appointments and errands, we don't have a lot of time to take care of our own mental and physical health. And for many women, juggling, this just adds a whole level of stress. And we see it in our health. Women, increased heart attacks, diabetes, asthma. We're up in the numbers, and this is no coincidence. So we have to, really think through what the next level of challenges are for us. There just aren't enough hours in the day, so we do what we can, and what is happening is that we do what we can in spite of the fact that we're not getting the kind of support from government and from society as a whole. The reality is that women and families are not getting the support that they need to thrive. We've spent the last decade, what I say, talking a good game about family values, but I haven't seen much in my life that really shows us that we're a society that actually values families. We have essentially ignored the plight of women and families, and we've told them, you go figure it out, right? Figure out how you're going to support a family on minimum wage and no benefits, right? You go figure out who's going to watch your children while you're at work without access to adequate, affordable child care. You figure out how to keep your family healthy without access to quality health care. Figure out how you're going to ensure that your children get the best education possible. You figure out how you're going to live without access to affordable housing. So essentially, we've told women, dream big, but after that, you're on your own. And I'm fortunate. I'm fortunate because in addition to living in this community, one of the reasons why we've stayed based in Chicago is not because we don't like Washington, but my support base is here, and I can't get through my day without it, so I'm blessed. And I also know that I've got a husband who actually loves me and supports me. Barack and I know that we have been very, very blessed in our lives, and we don't take anything for granted. And I tease him all the time. You've all heard it today. He still didn't put the butter up after he made his breakfast. And I was like, you're just asking for it. You know I'm giving a speech. Why don't you just put the butter up? He said he was just giving me material. I was like, yeah, right. And he still doesn't make the bed better than Sasha, you know. So I tease him, but the reality is that my husband is a man who understands my unique struggle and the challenges facing women and families. And it's not just because he lives with me, someone who's very opinionated and makes my point. I'm not a martyr, so he hears it, but because he actually listens to me and has the utmost respect for my perspective and my life experience. But it's also because he was raised in a household of strong women who he saw struggle and sacrifice for him to achieve his dreams. He saw his grandmother, the primary breadwinner in their household, work her entire life to support their whole family. He saw his mother, a very young, very single parent, trying to finish her education and raise 2 children across 2 continents. He sees his sister, a single parent, trying to eke out a life for herself and her daughter on a salary that's much too small. He sees it in the eyes of women he meets throughout the country, women who've lost children and husbands in the war, women who don't have access to adequate health care, to affordable daycare or jobs that pay a living wage. Their stories keep him up at night. Their stories, our stories, are the foundation of what guides Barack throughout his life. And so we are here today asking you to support us, to join us, to turn those worries into action, to give women hope that there's someone like Barack who's not only decent, trustworthy, compassionate, smart, hardworking, but he's also someone who recognizes that our society, our community is only as strong as our women and our families. But the trick is, we can't do this without you. Although our lives will continue to be hectic, the difference now is that we have this window, right? That's the beauty of what is going on now. This isn't going to be, we're not going to be in this place in 4 years or 8 years. We have the opportunity now. We can be a part of changing the way women are viewed in this country and to build a government that doesn't just encourage women to dream big, but one that provides women and young girls with support and resources to pursue those dreams. I want that for my daughters, right? I want that for your daughters. I want that for this country. So I know we can do it because I believe in Barack. I would not be here. Everyone knows. Too many people know that I wouldn't be here, but I believe in his unique ability to bring people together. I see it everywhere I go. This is not an accident, ladies. It's not an accident. But we need you to join us because you know what? Barack, as I tease, he's a wonderful man, he's a gifted man, but in the end, he's just a man. He is an imperfect vessel, and I love him dearly. But he, in all seriousness, he is going to get tired. He's tired now, right? He's going to make mistakes. He will stumble. Trust me, he will say things that you will not agree with all the time. He will not be able to move you to tears with every word that he says. You know? But that's why this campaign is so important, because it's not about Barack Obama, it's about all of us. It's about us turning these possibilities into action. I was just talking to Robin here. Women, you know when something is right. You know it, right? This feels right, and it's no accident. So we're gonna need you. I'm gonna get tired. My hair is gonna be messy. I'm gonna need everyone in this room to call every friend, every neighbor, every woman that has felt disaffected, who hasn't felt like there was somebody who would listen to them. I need you to get people to write $50 checks and $25 checks and to build a movement that's gonna change this country. We have the chance today. And if we do that, ladies, if we grow this room from 1,200 to 2,400, and if Malia was here, she could do the math a little better, and on and on and on, not only will we elect Barack Obama to be the next president of the United States, but we'll do some real good in the process. So it is my distinct honor to introduce, and I don't see him, so I hope he's here, my husband, the next President of the United States, Barack Obama.